Okay, starting off in child's pose, come on down. If you want a really nice stretch across the outside of the hips and maybe into the low back, just try to get your knees maybe as close as is comfortable. And always keeping in mind you can take them a little wider. And then take your time coming down. Nice breath here. We're going to spend some minutes here in this posture. Just breathing into the low back. Allowing the hips to kind of sink down naturally over time. So we're kind of imagining that time and gravity are going to do a lot of the work for us here. Find a big expansive breath across your rib cage. And remember to get that belly involved in your breath too. So let the breath get really long and slow. This is a good time to notice any tension that you might have in your back as the muscles kind of spread from your breath. And if your chest feels tense, see if you can kind of broaden your armpits and your elbows and sink your chest a little bit more solidly downward. Maybe there's more tension on your dominant side, and you just kind of have to work a little extra to open up there. Sometimes we just take note of things like that and adjust. But hopefully over time, this posture softens up a little bit. You start to feel some freedom in the hip flexors, and we can just really let tension drain out of your muscles and your bones. You cultivate softness in your face and your jaw too, your tongue, your eyes. And we'll take a few more breaths here in child's pose, just kind of letting ourselves settle in. So maybe consider walking your hands out a little further while you could continue to breathe here. I like to think of pressing down into fingertips and pulling back through the hips. Okay, so maybe try that. Like you're lengthening your low back. Remember, as you reach out with your hands, continue to pull your shoulder blades down and together so that your neck remains long and doesn't disappear between your shoulders. As you're ready, drop those palms back to the floor. Give it a good grip and pull yourself up to a tabletop position. So come on up to hands and knees. Take your time. Okay, take a moment here. Get yourself a really nice grip on the floor. I like to think of maybe the pointer fingers pointing precisely forward at the front of the mat and seeing a lot of color between your hands. So you've got a lot of space there. Give it a good grip. Tuck your toes. We're just going to lift the knees just off the mat. We're just going to get a little bit of core activation, a little warmth built here. So remember, as you hover your knees, if you feel like you need a break, you can always drop one or two, take that break. But from this knee hover, let's step one leg back like you kind of wanted to do a plank position with that one leg. And then bring it back to hover. Other side, step the other leg back. Bring it back to hover. Let's do it again. Keep breathing. On the right. Bring it back. Other side. And bring it back. Let's do one more time on each side. One side, nice and slow. Hover. Other side, nice and slow. And hover. Nice. From here, up and back to a downward facing dog. Walk it out. Okay, do a really nice shake of your head. Shoulders roll out. Walk those heels. So we're going to get the legs a little bit warm. Okay, we won't do anything too crazy in the legs, but we'll just get them a little bit warm and then we'll stretch them out really nicely. So come up on your tippy toes here. Take a big breath in, super high in your tippy toes, like you're trying to point your tailbone at the sky. And with your exhale, bring those knees down again, just to hover. But this time we're in more of a down dog type hover. So rather than your hands being under your shoulders, they're way out front. Inhale all the way back up to your tippy toes. And exhale, heels to the floor. And we'll just do that 2 more times, okay? So feel your quads activate as you tippy toe it up. Inhale. Exhale, knees hover just off the mat. Make it a nice hover. Inhale, back up on your tippy toes. And exhale, heels down. One more, just like that. Big breath in, heels up. Exhale, knees hover. Keep pushing the mat with your hands. Inhale, bring them high. And exhale, heels down low. Nice. Okay, let's keep it moving. Inhaling here, let's get that right leg up and out behind. Exhale here, swing that right knee forward and plant that foot between your hands. Let's drop the back knee. So left knee is now down. And we'll start to move the hips forward and back. So just kind of rock and roll in. You're thinking about the back of that right leg here. Right hamstring, left quad, and hip flexor. And maybe come up on your fingertips. Give yourself a little more space to keep your spine long. Okay, and then as you're ready, come up to a lunge. So you can use that right hand on your right thigh. Press yourself up. And here we are. Nice lunge. So feel free to make adjustments in your legs. All right, make it just right. But ideally, you want to be able to allow your hips to kind of sink down low, but you still want to be active, right? We always want some activity in the legs. So the legs are always pushing down into the ground, and you also have a sense that they're pulling in towards center. So you're strong and connected. And from there, let's get the arms up overhead. And we're just going to make big shoulder circles. So big circles with your hands. Remember to breathe deeply. I want you to feel your chest kind of opening up here. And the whole time your legs are actively pressing down. And this can hopefully allow you to release a little bit of tension across the front of your left hip, the back of your right leg. Okay, let's rewind this. Big breaths into your chest and your back. Maybe 2 or 3 more big circles. And next time your hands come down in front, release the fingertips back to the floor, okay? Draw this right leg all the way back, and I'll meet you in a down dog. So come on up and back, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Okay, notice the back of the right leg versus the back of the left. Hopefully we feel a difference. And let's move a little bit. We'll just take a little vinyasa here. So inhaling, heart moves forward, find a plank. All right, exhaling, hop or step to your hands. We're gonna fold here. You can really bend your knees if you like. Fold it. Inhale, roll it up nice and slow. Here comes a side bend. So as you exhale, root down into your feet and lengthen yourself out to one side. Inhale up to center. Other side, exhale, send it over. Inhale, back up to center. Maybe a little back bend here. And exhale here. Hinge at your hips. Fold yourself all the way down. Feel free to bend those knees. Okay, coming up halfway on your inhale. And fold it real deep on your exhale. So come all the way down. Feel the hamstrings open up as you hug your legs. Okay, palms are down here. Inhaling, step your feet back to a plank. Okay, listen up. Gonna exhale and have you come halfway down. So elbows into your ribs, engaging your core. Remember, you can drop a knee for plank. Inhale all the way up to your plank. All right, exhale here, come all the way down. With your inhale, float your hands and your legs off the floor. So you're lifting your body with the strength of your back. And exhale, hands and feet come down. And I'll meet you up in a down dog. Come on up and back. Okay, let's take a few breaths here. All right, we'll do that same little tippy toe and knee hover, little flow that we did before, a little mini flow, just to get those legs nice and warm, okay? So here goes. Inhaling here, up on your tippy toes. Exhaling, knees close to the floor, hover. Inhaling, tippy toes. And exhale, heels down. 2 more times. Inhale, tippies. Exhale, floating knees. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, heels down. 1 more time, okay? Tippy toes. Knees hover. Tippy toes. And heels down. Whew. Okay. Inhale here, left leg up and out behind. And exhale here. Drop that left foot between your hands. Drop that back knee. Okay. Coming up to a lunge, but first let's rock and roll the hips back and forth. Okay, fingertips might give you a little bit more space. So just kind of feeling out, how's the back of the left leg feeling? What are we dealing with in that hamstring? And how's the front of the right thigh and hip? Okay, just figuring out what the situation is in the legs. And then once you're ready to settle into this lunge, okay, I want you to really activate through your legs. So you're resisting the floor with both legs at the same time as you actively pull all the musculature in to center. So super strong here. Okay, we're gonna circle out the shoulders. So keep those legs rocking. Big shoulder circles. I want you to think of spreading open your chest on each inhale. Okay, bigger chest each time. And although it's easy to forget about your legs, as many times as you forget to keep them active, bring them back on the clock. Okay, rewind your shoulders. I want you to feel some good warmth in the chest, shoulders, and back. Maybe 1 more time. Next time the hands come down, bring them all the way down. Let's tuck that left leg back to hands and knees, and I'll meet you in a down dog again. Hopefully the back of the left leg is feeling a little more open as well now. So let's take another little vinyasa. Keep that warmth going. Keep that opening across the backs of the legs. And inhale here. Find a plank. Exhale, hop or step to your hands. Little fold here. Inhaling to roll it up. Okay, a little side bend. Here we go. Exhale to one side. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. And then inhale up. Maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, hinge all the way forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, very big fold. Hug your legs. Okay, palms are down. Inhale to plank. You can hop it or step. Now check it out. We're going to do halfway down. Exhale. Use those knees if you need them. Inhale all the way up. Now exhale all the way down. Pull those elbows in. Make it slow. We'll do that again. Don't worry. Inhale for your little back extension. So point your tailbone down as you lift everything off the floor. And exhale. Bring it down. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. So this will be our first really official downward facing dog. So let's take 5 or 6 breaths, pedal out the heels nicely, and start to strengthen the elbows in toward each other, really pulling back on the feet. So start to align this to the best of your ability from within. I like to really engage the quads in downward facing dog, like you're pulling your kneecaps up towards your hips. Okay, that's gonna help release the hamstrings. The more we engage the quads, the more those hamstrings will let go. So from here, try to keep all that. And inhale, that right leg up and out behind. Exhale here, send that right foot forward and drop it outside your right hand. Drop the back knee. Okay, and from here, we're going to twist. We're gonna get a little twisty. So allow the hips to sink just as much as feels right. Okay, remember to keep both legs active. It's gonna be a little tempting to get kind of passive here, but keep a little activity. And let's look over to the right knee. You can use your right hand to gently press the right knee away. Look over that right shoulder. So here you are twisting. Check out the left shoulder, the bottom shoulder. Don't let it get passive either, okay? It needs to be strong and turned on. There should always be a little bend in your elbow. So we can hang right here. This is just quite enough. Feeling hopefully some nice opening across the outside of the right hip. Maybe that left hip flexor as well. If you want a little more, you can play around with tucking the left toes and lifting that left knee. But keep the legs strong and active here. Maybe one more breath here. If your leg is lifted, okay, if your back leg is lifted, I want you to really strengthen your quad here. Lift it up away from the floor, squeeze the glutes. And now release that back knee if it was up. Now here's a great addition to that. If you can bend that left knee and point the left toe up at the ceiling, reach your right hand back and grab that left foot. And this is a really nice stretch for your left quad, okay? So just grab the foot and pull it as close into your glute as you want. It's going to be different on the day. But when you've got that, go ahead and just roll around on that very bottom part of your left thigh, just above your kneecap. And just find where it feels tender and kind of roll it out. This is a really great therapeutic massage for your quadriceps and your TFL. Okay, all those little attachment points. Maybe 1 or 2 more breaths here. This always feels really, really nice. Okay, go ahead and let that one go. Drop this right hand down in front under your shoulders. So now we're going to really sink down into this lunge. We've gotten the legs pretty warm. The hips are warmed. It's safe for us to really dig in. So let's try this. Try aligning your right arm, the palm under your shoulder, straight and strong in the arm. Put it next to your right lower leg. So almost like you're trying to fuse them into one column. And once you've got them right next to each other, start to squeeze the leg toward the midline into your arm. So you feel something hopefully happening in your right hip. So that leg is squeezing in, the arm is pressing back against the leg. And I want you to keep that. Now you can stay upright here, or you can drop down to 1 or 2 elbows. But keep that inward squeeze of that right knee, okay? Maybe you want to drop your head, shake it out. Okay, Okay, maybe 1 or 2 more breaths here. Remember to give it some activity, okay? Push down into the legs. Pull in with that right knee. You should feel that hip, that inner hip getting really warm. Okay, take your time coming back up on your hands. Now here's where I want to go from here. I want to tuck the back toes. So tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Okay, we're going to pull the hips back and we're going to send them forward. So feel free to really flex the front foot, the right foot when you pull the hips back, and drop that right foot when you send the hips forward. Okay, so just like we did before, except the back knee is lifted. But while we do this, move that right knee into center. Okay, pull it in. So you feel the inner thigh engaging as we're lengthening it. Okay. Next time you pull the hips back and you're in that hamstring stretch, drop the back knee again. We're going to kind of dig into this hamstring stretch here. So up on your fingertips might help you lengthen your spine a little bit more. But hands under shoulders, get your longest spine. And then really dig down through that right heel. Pull back on the hip and strengthen that quad. So you're going to watch your kneecap move up towards your right hip. Breathe here. So maybe this is great just straight down the back of the hamstring. If you want to get more on the outside of the leg toward the IT band and the glute, you can walk your fingers out to the right, okay, all the way over the side of your leg. And you can roll to the outside of the foot. Okay, pull back on that. You get a great IT band, glute, outer hip stretch. But keep that quad active, okay? Maybe 1 more breath right here. Okay, feels good. Good stretch. Now let's bring it back in to center. So all the way back through. Okay, hands back under shoulders. Tuck those back toes. And let's send this all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. All right. Walk that out. Notice how the legs feel. The right leg should feel noticeably different from the left on the back. So here comes a vinyasa. Feel free to skip it. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling, hop or step to your hands and fold. Roll it up, inhale. Remember that side bend. Let's do that here. Side bend, exhale. Inhale up, exhale other side. Inhale up, maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, fold it. Halfway up, inhale. Very big fold, exhale. Palms are down. Inhale to plank. You can hop it, step it. Exhale, halfway down, just like we did before. Inhale all the way up to plank. Exhale all the way down, slow. Here comes that back extension. Inhale, point your tailbone down and lift. And exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, walk it out here. We're gonna start to move to the other side. Okay, taking a few breaths here. Just notice how you feel. Getting some good space opened up in that lower body. Here comes the other side. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Exhale here, drop that foot between your hands. Okay, drop the back knee here. And we'll start to twist. Okay, so looking over to that left knee, left hand to the inside of that left knee. And we'll start to twist and look over that left shoulder. So hang here. Decide maybe if you want to activate the legs a little differently. Find the perfect placement for that right knee. Okay? And then maybe you want to start to deepen this a little bit. You want to tuck the back toe and hover the back knee. So the right knee will hover. And as you're hovering that right knee, notice the roll of your quadriceps on the right side. They're lifting the kneecap. They're activating here. So the more we activate them now, the more we can release them after this, when we do that quad stretch. So activate the bottom shoulder. Big breath, scooping that right knee up away from the floor. And as you're ready, release that right knee. Now here's our reward for all that work in that right quad. If you can bend the right knee, grab back for that right foot with your left hand, then you can start to pull that right foot in towards your glute. Find that great stretch on the front of your right thigh. You can roll around on the bottom part of your quadriceps and your TFL, and even over on the side to your IT band. Find some sore stuff that you just need to get out of there. Okay, maybe one or two more breaths here while you take care of that tight quad. Okay, let that go. All hands down in front. Okay, so we're going to sink into this lunge now that we've made a little bit more space in the front of the right hip, a little bit more space in the back of the left leg. Align your left arm with that left lower leg. So they're trying to fuse into one, and start to press that left leg in toward the center. So it's trying to smoosh itself into your armpit. Okay, maybe this is where you stay today. Maybe you want to come down to one or two elbows. Go for it. No matter where you are, squeeze that left knee in. Let your head hang. And smile. Okay, enjoy this moment of stillness. Continue to activate your legs here so they're still sort of pressing into the earth. Okay, maybe one more really long, slow breath here. As you're ready, start to press yourself back up. So come on up on your fingertips here. Maybe give yourself a little bit more space. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, and we're gonna rock the hips back and forward. So just like we did before, except we have the back knee lifted because we're a little warmer. And you're flexing that left foot. You're really hoping to open up a little bit more space in that left hamstring. All right, next time you pull back on the hip, pause there, drop the back knee, okay? Make it a little bit more manageable to stay here, and we'll enjoy this hamstring stretch for a little while, this half split. So remember to keep a really nice flex in your left foot, a long spine, and as you drop down into that left heel, pull back on the left hip. Now chances are you're going to be different on this side than you were on the other side. So notice those little differences. Notice if you feel more release on the inner part of your leg or the outer. And of course, if you want that IT band stretch, you walk your fingers out to the left and you pull back on the left hip. Okay, maybe one more really long, slow breath here. All right, let's bring it back in to center. All hands down, tuck the back toes. Let's bring it up and back to a downward facing dog. Okay, walk this out. Should be feeling pretty good in that low body. We did some good work. So let's keep it going. Inhaling here, heart moves forward for a plank. Exhaling here, hop or step forward and fold. Roll it up, inhale. Here comes a side bend, okay? Exhale to one side. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. And inhale it up. Little back bend. Exhale, fold it. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, really fold it. Palms down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, halfway down, just like we did before. Inhale all the way up. Just like before, exhale slowly all the way down. Just like before, inhale, back extension, lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, walk your hips out here. Walk your heels out here. All right, one more set on either side from down dog, and then we'll get down to the mat, okay? So inhaling here, let's get the right leg up and out behind. Exhaling, bend that right knee, okay? I want you to shoot the right toes to the left and hold it here in your scorpion posture. So let's really dive into the scorpion by dropping that right shoulder. That's gonna give us a lot of strength down, keeping those shoulders level. And then we're pulling back on the left hip. So left hip moves back, right shoulder drives down. And perhaps you can look under your left armpit and wave to yourself with your right toes. So strong pushing down into that right hand for one more big breath here. And then inhale, right leg up and out behind you. Exhale, right foot drops between your hands. Boom. Okay, we're dropping the back knee here. We're heading to a pigeon. So we're walking that right foot to the left and dropping the right knee. So here we are. Stay up in your pigeon. It's really nice to stay up before you fold all the way down. Okay, take your hands in front so you support yourself. Make sure before you commit to your pigeon that your hips are level, okay? The top of your back foot is on the floor and the right foot is exactly where you want it. If you move it away from you, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. It's going to give you more opening and release in your right outer hip. Move it closer to you, it's going to be less intense. So once you've got everything just right, then I want you to activate those legs, okay? So you're pushing the floor down. You're strengthening your glutes. The legs are on and they're plugging into those hip sockets. From there, then come down into your pigeon posture. And I just want you to be here for a little while. Okay, so settle in. And though you're here, you're not necessarily moving around much. You're still active in your legs. Still activating all the muscles. The legs are strong. The glutes are on. And we're pushing into the floor. And keep breathing here. Become aware of any sensations in your hips, your low back. Maybe one very long, slow breath here as you release any remaining tension in your lower body. Let it roll off your back. And then peel yourself up as you're ready. And then don't come all the way out yet because I'm just going to have you roll onto your right hip. So roll onto that glute so that you're just naturally going to start to turn out to the left, okay? And then you're just going to sit down on your left glute too so that you're in this little half straddle shape. And I'll spin around to face you. So find your little half straddle so that your right foot is pulled in by your hips and your left leg is out long. So we just kind of flipped over and made this a seated position. Okay, we want a strong left leg, so make it nice and strong and long. And another thing we want to consider is we want to keep this right hip really super grounded. So you're always making it a point to bring that right hip down to the ground. Okay, that being said, left hand over to the right hip. Make your spine nice and long. We're going to inhale the right hand up. Reach it tall as you ground through the right hip. And exhale to reach to the left. So just as far as you want to reach. We're going to do it 2 more times. So inhale, come on up. Think of lengthening your spine that much more. And exhale, reach to the left. Let's do it 1 more time. Big breath in. And big exhale. Now hold it right here. Okay, if your right hip is up, no problem, put it down. Okay, notice how that feels. From that right hip, I want you to lengthen out through all sides of your torso. Okay, front, back, sides, and lengthen your neck. Nice breath here. So you have options. You can take the left elbow to the floor, to your left thigh. You can take the right fingers to the left toes. But no matter what you have a long spine and a grounded right hip. Very nice. Maybe 1 more huge breath into your right side. As you're ready, you can use your right fingers on the floor to press yourself up. Okay. And we're going to transition back to that pigeon-esque place that we were before. So hands on the floor over toward the front of your space. Transition yourself back to a hands and knees. And from there, I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. All right, walk out your down dog. And here comes a vinyasa, just keeping it warm. All right, heart moves forward for your inhale to plank. Exhale to your hands, fold. Roll it up. Side bend on your exhale. Inhale up. The other side on your exhale. And then inhale to bring it up. Maybe a little back bend. Exhale, fold it all the way down. Halfway up, inhale. Big fold, exhale. Palms are down, inhale to plank. Halfway down, exhale. All the way up, inhale. All the way down, exhale. Back extension, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Okay, 5 or 6 breaths here in your down dog. Notice all the warmth in your body. Notice your heart rate and your breath rate, and then push that floor with your hands and your feet. Strengthen those quads. Make this down dog the most aligned, the most embodied one that you've done today. Okay, let's do the other side. So inhaling here, left leg all the way up and out behind you. Exhaling here, we're going to scorpion it. So we're pointing the left toes to the right and we'll pause. Now you notice when your left hip comes up, your left shoulder comes up, doesn't it? That's normal. Plug that thing down. So push into your left hand. We want that left shoulder super low. And as we lift the left hip, we pull back on the right. And that's how we keep our alignment here. So big breath in your scorpion. Notice how your left hip is feeling. Maybe 1 more breath here. And then we're letting it go. Okay, we're sending that left knee all the way forward. Dropping that left foot between your hands. Boom, drop the back knee. We're heading to a pigeon now on this side. So everything the same, just opposite. So walk the left foot to the right. Drop the left knee. And start to settle in. So I just want to recommend that you take your hands out front and use them to keep yourself up while you level your hips off with the mat. You put your left foot exactly where you want it, and you be sure that the top of your right foot is touching the floor. From there, give yourself some time to strengthen both legs, to really activate them and push into the ground. Then, once you've really turned everything on, then come down and fold. You might use your elbows under your shoulders so you can just hang your head. You might decide to rest your head all the way on the floor. But no matter where you are, keep those legs strong, okay? You're gonna forget, no problem. Just turn them on every time you forget. So we want the right glute rocking. We want the left leg really plugging into the socket. And when we activate like this, we give ourselves the best possible form of a stretch. Allow your breath to help you release any tension you encounter. Maybe one more beautiful breath here in your pigeon. And then start to press yourself up. Take your time, come on up. So you're gonna press yourself up, and we'll do the same thing we did on the other side. So roll over onto your left glute, and then looking to the right, sit that right glute down as well. Then you find yourself in this little half straddle shape. Okay, we are in the same shape. Make sure that right leg is strong, okay? So the foot is flexed and the front and the back of the right leg are equally active. And remember our anchor. So I want you to think of anchoring through that left hip as we start to move, okay? So right hand to left hip and keep it down. Left hand up and over, big breath in. Long spine, and exhale to reach to the right. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhale to bring it up. Ground that left hip. And exhale, bring it over. One more time. Should feel really nice in your outer hip, your obliques maybe. Okay, maybe your lower abs are feeling it on the left. Now hold it here. Ground that left hip. So really push it down. Let that be your area of stability. And from there, lengthen the spine on all sides. You can use that right elbow for support if you want, or not. But wherever you are, you're breathing, lengthening that spine. Should feel really nice. Maybe one more really big breath into that left side. And then let's let it go. Use the left fingers to press you up. And then hands back down at the front of your space. Roll yourself back forward to a hands and knees position. From here, let's just sit the hips out to one side, okay? Sit the hips out to one side, swing your legs around front. And let's do some windshield wipers. So should be feeling some good freedom in your hips. Okay, this is a nice glute massage on the floor as well, a little bonus. So let's take the feet together out front. So when you look at your feet and your legs, you've got a little diamond shape going. okay? And you can always make the diamond narrower and pull your feet closer to you or further away, just whatever is suiting you best. So feel free to adjust that. Go ahead and get your fingertips down beside you and make your spine extra long. So use those shoulder blades behind your heart to lift your big heart up and open. And then start to press your feet in toward each other. It's going to feel really weird because it's not a normal movement or a normal action. But go ahead and do it anyway. Press those feet toward each other. And notice where you feel that action. Just breathe. Maybe close your eyes. It doesn't have to be a strong push to be profound. Maybe 3 more breaths, pushing those feet together. Two more breaths. Last one. All right, let go of that. You can relax that action, okay? Try this. Just grab your right foot and pull it a little closer to you so that it's just before your left foot. It's a little closer to you. So you've kind of staggered your feet. Okay, your right toes tickle your left heel. And then you can drop your fingers to the side of you again. Make your spine nice and long. Really lift that heart up and forward. And it's possible that you might just stay right here. But if you want a little bit more opening in your low back, see if you want to lean your heart forward. Just think of sending the heart forward just enough. And you want to stop if you feel like your spine is rounding or if your shoulders are coming up by your ears. But if everything's going great, take your hands forward under your shoulders. Maybe come down to your elbows. So we want to keep dropping that tailbone and sending the heart forward. Breathing deeply into the low back. And maybe today, maybe another day. It really depends on the day. Sometimes your forehead will come to rest on your left big toe. It's okay if it doesn't. Just keep the neck long. Keep breathing into the low back. Maybe one more huge breath into both sides of your low back, into both hips. And then start to walk yourself back up and out of this. Okay, and here's where we're going from here. From here, grab your left ankle. That's the leg that's further away from you. Pick that left foot up and set it down on the outside of the right knee. So we've just built this funky little shape and we're going to use it to twist. Go ahead and drop super heavy into that left hip in case it comes up. Right hand holds the left knee and left fingers behind you can help you twist. So remember your long spine inhales. Belly button to spine, exhale. If you want a little more here, you can take the right elbow to the outer left knee. Remember your long spine. And use those breathing muscles. Maybe one more really big, beautiful breath. And let's rewind out of this. Come on out. Let's grab the left foot, put it back out in front of you. We're going to switch sides. So this time we're going to take the right foot and be the faraway foot. The left foot is going to stagger inward and come a little closer. So fingertips beside you, long spine. And start to ground through your tailbone, lengthening that spine, sending your heart forward. There's really no rush. If you start to feel like you want to take your hands and elbows forward, go for it. If you start to feel like you want to drop your head, go for it. Just keep that long neck and long spine. I'm looking for some big release across the outer hip, the low back, the hamstrings, inner thigh. And see if you can make that spine even longer here. Take your time walking yourself up out of this. There's no rush. Come on out. Let's transition to that same twist that we did on the other side. So if you just pick up your right foot and put it on the other side of your left knee, probably going to need to ground a little extra in this right glute. Left arm holds right leg, and you look over your right shoulder. So long spine, inhale. Belly button to spine, exhale. Okay, keep that strong breathing. We want to make the most of twists. Okay, as you're ready, spiral yourself out of this. And from here, you can take hands behind you, both legs out in front of you, shake them out again. And we'll get all the way back down to the floor. So from here, I like to start with bent knees. I find it a little bit more challenging with bent knees. You can always extend them if you want it to be a little less challenging, but how slowly can you roll down? So you're gonna reach for your toes, curl your tailbone, and roll down slowly. Notice where it's really hard. Do your best to smooth it out. Maybe take a couple more breaths to come all the way down. All right, when you land, find your resting posture and completely relax. Just let go. All effort is gone. All doing, all production. We just let all that go right now. We're just going to be. Okay, letting your breath run free. Your body completely release. Let your thoughts run free too, and just observe them. Bring your awareness back to this moment again and again. Feel your face soften even more with each exhale. Let your lips drop open, your teeth move away from each other, your jaw hang. Let the fingers and toes curl softly. Notice the little sensations in your environment. Notice everything that makes this moment, this moment. So please continue resting just like this for as long as you can. And this is where I will leave you as you continue to rest. Thanks so much for joining me and for taking good care of yourself.